So, on Friday, I assigned the following questions, 1 to 30 odds, and question number 16. The answers were down here. Are there any questions from what I assigned that anyone would like to see me do? Jackson, Liam, get your stuff out. Anyone who is here on Friday would like me to do any of the questions I assigned? Yes. What's your question? I want you to scour your backpack first. It's nowhere else in your backpack. Go get another copy. Okay, anybody else?
Which page is this?
Oh my gosh, where's the page 4? Yes. Okay, so nobody wants to see any of these questions. Okay, cool. Well, Ruben wasn't here. Ruben needs to go back and watch the videos.
I know that's what he asked.
All weekend? So sick you couldn't turn on YouTube? Okay, we want to see question number 1. Okay, so I want to get the variable by itself in question number 1. So, right now the r and the negative 10 are attached by addition and subtraction, Ruben. So to isolate, Gershon, you're going to go pick up that garbage. And then you're going to go walk to the front of the class and throw it in the garbage. Because I'm subtracting 10 from r, Ruben, and I want to get it by itself, I'm going to do the opposite operation of adding 10 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. Negative 14 plus 10 is negative 4. And we're done. Are there any questions about any part of that? Sweet. Okay. So, this page was not assigned. I told you it was optional. If anyone did it, I can give you the answers to it. Does anyone want to know?
Yeah.
Who wrote these books? Okay. The Break-In was written by Jimmy DeLocke. The Origin of Man was written by Eva Lou Shun. Oliver, face front, please. If you need this booklet, there's a big stack right there. Okay. Do you have the booklet, though? Okay. And Making Soap was written by Phil T. Hans. Okay. Did anyone do... This was assigned. Why did Gonzo walk around carrying ice cream and a pair of sparrows? Did anyone get this one done? You have a solution? Okay. So what did you get? Like what the... What's the... Yeah, what do you think you got? He was... What was the next word? Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, Emma. You thought he was... Chilling. Chilling is correct. Hold on. Nobody asked you, Raven, for your... Okay, so let's just cross out some of these ones that we know we got here. H-E. Where's H-E? There it is. Okay, one more time and you guys can go. He was... And then I need S-C. H-I-L-L. I need an I-N. Is there only one I-N? Yep. And then we need G something. Okay. Jackson, do you need to leave? Okay. So the next one What did you get for the second letter here? Did you get, it was the GA or the GT? You would be correct. So the GT should have gone there. He was chilling to, and then these are the letters you think you got messed up? Yeah. Okay, what did you get there? So let's do question number 8. Let's do it. So question number 8 is right here. 6t plus 3 equals -7. To start with, I want to get rid of that addition by 3. We want to move the terms that don't include a variable. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. And we're going to get 6t equals -10. I'm going to divide by 6, and reduce this fraction. We're going to get t equals, both of these are divisible by 2. So it's going to be -5/3. And all these answers are mixed. So that's going to be -1 2/3, which should be WO. Did you get the next two, Emma? BIRDS, that's correct. 9 is BI. 10 is RD. And then this one should be S. Was it SP or SW?
SW.
That is correct. 11 should be SW. So he was chilling 2 birds. 12 should be IT. Yep, with 1 cone. It's a play on the phrase killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He was chilling 2 birds with 1 cone. It's hilarious. The jokes, yeah, the jokes. Okay. So that was that. If there's any questions on any of those, let me know. Excuse me. Today's lesson is short. So let's take a look at this guy here. We're going to bring variables now onto both sides. And then you're going to have a bunch of time to practice this stuff. So here we go. So, thinking back to what we did on Friday. Friday, I outlined a set of steps for you guys to solve multi-step algebraic expressions or algebraic equations. The first step was to group like terms. Then you wanted to, basically it ended up being reverse BEDMAS. You wanted to deal with any addition, subtraction. Then you dealt with any multiplication and division. At the end of it all, we had brackets. So that was the method. What we're going to add today, this week is going to be interesting. What we're going to add today is variables on both sides. So if we have variables on both sides of the equation, what we're going to do is we're going to, just like we tried before, to move things over to one side to get them all away from the variables. The only thing that we're going to add here is we move all the variables to one side, and then we try to move all of the numbers to the other side. So just this one little added step. I'm going to do one example for you today. I'm going to do the same example twice to show you, or to try to prove to you, that it doesn't matter which way you move these variables, your result is going to be the same. So let's take a look at this question. The question is 2x plus 5 equals 6x minus 7. It's the same question over here. 2x plus 5 equals 6x minus 7. And first, I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like to move all these variables to the left-hand side. So first step, always, do I have any like terms on the same side of the equal sign? Hayden, please stop talking to Rain. We were treating the equal sign like a wall. Like, you can't group across the equal sign. And in this particular question, there are no like terms on either side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start moving variables around. I'm going to take my 6x and I want to move it over to the other side. How do I do that? Well, my 6x is positive, and it's connected to the -7 by subtraction. So because the 6x is positive, I'm going to do the opposite of positive 6x, which is just taking away 6x. Gershon, put your phone away. And whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So 6x minus 6x is going to be gone. I'm going to be left with negative 7 on the right-hand side. On the left, 2x minus 6x is? It is not 2x. It is negative 4x. And this plus 5 still hasn't been dealt with. It's just going to come along for the ride. So now I've got negative 4x plus 5 equals negative 7. And I'm going to try and isolate this thing for x. To do that, what has to get moved first? Not the x. We want to move the things that are furthest away. So terms that don't include the x need to get moved first. So I've got this plus 5 sitting here. There's no x in there. That's what's going to move first. You betcha, Jackson, or Liam. I'm not sure which one of the two of you just said it. We're going to take away 5 on both sides. It doesn't matter which of the two of you it was. You both got credit. One of you undeservedly. So because I'm subtracting 5 here, because I'm adding 5 here, the opposite is to subtract 5 on both sides. On the left-hand side, I'm going to be left with negative 4x. On the right-hand side, what's negative 7 minus 5? Negative 12. Okay, and now to get x by itself, we need to isolate it. How do I get rid of that negative 4? How is the negative 4 attached to the x? It's attached by multiplication. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. On the left-hand side, negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1, cancels out, leaving us with just x. How about negative 12 divided by negative 4? Positive 3. Okay. So x equals 3. Let's see if we're right. What we're going to do is we're going to check, just like we did last week. Why? Why are you on your phone again, Gershon? Yeah, but I'm trying to teach you something, so why are we listening to music? Phone away, headphones out. So let's check. We're going to take this value and we're going to put it back into our original equation. Now this time our original equation has variables on both sides. I've got 2x plus 5 equals 6x minus 7. What I want to do now is replace those x's with a set of brackets and insert that 3 into both those spots. So I'm going to have 2 bracket 3 plus 5 on the left-hand side, and I'm going to have 6 bracket 3 minus 7. So on the left-hand side, BEDMAS says I want to multiply the 2 and the 3 first. 2 times 3 is, plus 5 is. Someone said 2 plus 3 is 6. That is correct. Sorry, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5 is 11. And on the right-hand side, 6 times 3 is 18. And 18 minus 7 is 11. Does 11 equal 11? Yes. And so because at the end of this check, we've got a statement that is true, namely 11 is equal to 11, that means this value must be correct. Cool. So that's what happens when we move all the variables to the left. Let's take a look at the same question, except I'm going to move all the variables the other way. Jackson, hand to yourself. Yes. No, what I'm trying to prove to you today is that it doesn't matter. And now, from here on out, Gershon, B, and Sahib, up here, please. I'm going to try and prove to you, Ruben, that it doesn't matter. So, let's move all the variables to the right. So I've got 2x plus 5 on the left-hand side. I got 6x minus 7 on the right-hand side. I'm going to take all my x's and move them to the far right-hand side. Because this 2x here is positive, how am I going to move it over? I'm going to take away 2x. On the left-hand side, 2x minus 2x is 0, leaving us with just 5 equals Now 6x minus 2x is 4x. And that minus 7 hasn't changed yet. It just comes along for the ride. Now I want to get rid of it. We're throwing it out of the car. I have 4x minus 7. I want to do the opposite to get rid of it. So what's the opposite of subtracting 7? Adding 7. And to both sides, we will do this. On the right-hand side, the minus 7 plus 7 cancels, gives us 0. We're left with just 4x on that right-hand side. Left-hand side, 5 plus 7 is 12. And now I've got 12 equals 4x. I want to get x by itself, so we're going to divide by on both sides. On the right-hand side, my 4's are going to cancel, leaving me with just 1x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And that's the same thing we got when we isolated it to the other side. So I'm not going to redo the check. We're good. So now the question I'm going to ask you is, why did I do this twice? And what's the only difference in doing it two different ways? Juno. In this case, yeah. When I moved it to the left, it became negative, a coefficient on the x. When I moved it to the right, the coefficient became positive. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see all the way through is students who just arbitrarily drop minus signs. You have no good reason. The number was -8. Oh, now on the next line it's 8, just for funsies. You had no good mathematical reason to drop it. You just lost it. You didn't bother to copy it. It got lost on the marks on the board. For whatever reason, a negative number just became positive spontaneously, moving one line to the next with no good reason. Now, because this is a thing, my recommendation for you all would be, as much as possible, when you isolate for a variable, isolate because it, and what I'm trying to show to you is, it doesn't matter which way they go. So because it doesn't matter which way they go, as often as possible, move your variables around so that the coefficient in front of them is positive. This guy right here is the only difference. Comments, questions, concerns? Okay. Then, before I assign you your homework, what I'd like you to do is I'd like y'all to try these 4 questions. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to help where needed. I've got the answers. When you're ready, let me know what you get. I want you to start not on the whiteboard. I want you, oh, you know what? Sure, go to the whiteboard, but you're starting alone. I do not want you to work with anybody on these 4 questions. Okay? When you think you have solutions, no, you may not.
After this.
After you've done these 4 and I've assigned the work, then you can go to the washroom. I would like you to try these 4. When you think you've got solutions to them, let me know. I will come tell you if you're right. Yes. Not now. Not yet. I want to see these 4 happen first.
Ow, why'd you put it on my throat?
Yeah, I've just modeled a method. Now I want these 4 done before you go in.
My legs are.
Okay? These 4 questions for anyone who's anyone.
Ow, why'd you hit me, Ruben? I didn't. You just hit me up with good boy. Yeah, walk away like a little bit.
Right here. You've got values, so you know what you get. So first step is, as much as possible, group your like terms. First step, if you can, is to group your like terms.
Guys, you have a quiz next. You're adding 5y. Yeah, so you should put y there. You're adding 5y. What is negative 2y plus 5y? 7y. You have to make sure that y is part of it. Yeah. No, do negative 5 plus equals to 0. You said you have 7y minus 4 equals 17. No, you have to get y equals something. You have to get it by itself. Actually, it's no longer by the door. This is the sharpener you want over here. I'm hiding them so that Mr. Keeley's class can have them. Well, you got y by itself. So, you want to the terms that don't include the y over them. So you have 7y minus 4. What are you going to move? You're going to add 4 both sides. Yeah, the both sides. Whatever you do on one side, you have to do the other. So, Karan, I want you to go to these 4 questions without talking to anybody. Stop poking Ruben every time you walk past. Sorry, Raven, every time you walk past. So you got 7y equals 21. Now get y by itself. You have 7 times y equals 21. So how do you equal the opposite of 1? Okay. You divide both sides by 7. Equals, so you go to equal sign there. Yeah. 7y equals 21. Divide by 7, divide by 7. So y has to equal 21 over 7. I don't know. You should. What times 7 is 21? No, 21 divided by 7. They all work.
3. Bring it into the other question. It's just y equals 3 then.
See? Arvin, who asked me about it? Ruben? Arbitrarily dropping minus signs. Perfect example right there. You probably got it. Yes.
So divide 2y. Yes, look.
Yes,
Yes, you do.
Yes. You have an answer for the first question? 3 is correct. And how much credit goes to Showman? Yes, no problem. Negative 7y there. That's almost 4. Those are not like terms. They have to have both sides to be part of the like terms. You add it to 17. Why are you bringing everything to the left hand side? You want to get the numbers to the other side. So if you have negative 4 equals 17 minus 7y, you get to 17. Don't bring everything over to the letters. You're trying to get the letter by itself. You'll do letters first.
What are your thoughts on the fight?
Sorry?
What are your thoughts on the fight?
It was a joke.
Mike Tyson's contract said that if he knocked out Jake Paul in the first round, he didn't get paid anything.
Yeah.
He got more money the longer it went. So if that's how you, and it's the only way Mike Tyson was gonna win, is if he knocked him out in the first round. So the fight was a joke. I was very disappointed. I wanted to see Mike Tyson absolutely annihilate. You were already subjecting. Not until you leave. When you're done those four, I'll send you a video. At that point, I'll sign that card. Why? I don't sign them to the end of the block. Because it's Nintendo's contract. To be a president in my class, you need to be here till the end. So I don't sign them to the end. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Okay.
Just wait, yo. Arbitrary minus sign draw. You're rushing, Juno. I got it.
Okay, so
I know it.
You're making crap up too.
No.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, guys, when I spend the time to go through a lesson, take the notes down with me while we do, and then don't just make stuff up. We're making stuff up. Here are the answers to these questions. I'm going to demonstrate all 4 of these, and then I'm going to set you to work. Okay, so I want everyone, unless I've told you otherwise, so I think the only people I've actually given the assignment to are Oliver and Emma. But there's a few of the more of you who are done all 4 of these. If I want you to pay attention to how these are done. So the first 2 questions are identical, Jackson, to the one question I did up at the top. I have no like terms, there's nothing to group. So I'm going to move things around, and I'm going to move them around in such a way so that the coefficient, I shouldn't say leading coefficient, so that the coefficient on the variable term is positive. So if you look at this, I've got a positive 2y here and a negative 5y. If I subtract the 2y over, it's going to make this more negative. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to add 5y to both sides, making this 7y minus 4. The negative 5y and the positive 5y cancel, and this equals 17. Now, I want to get the y by itself. So I'm going to move the things that are further away from the y. Any term that doesn't include a y is getting moved over. So this negative 4 here, the opposite of subtracting by 4 is adding 4. So minus 4 plus 4 cancels. I'm left with 7y equals 20. 1. I'm going to divide by 7, and we get y equals 3. Which is what I told you the answer was to start. Cool. Next one. Okay, what I'm seeing some of you do totally arbitrarily is you're like, yes, I'm going to divide by 6. Do not divide by 6. Yes, that is what you did, Jackson. What you want to do is you want to get all of the variable terms to one side, all the numeric terms to the other side, and then at the very end, last but not least, you divide. So, because I've got 40 plus 4n equals 6n, which way should I move my terms? Someone. Yes, Gershon. I'm going to move the 4n to the right. How am I going to do that? I'm going to minus 4n on both sides. So because I'm adding 4n, subtracting 4n is going to move it over, and I'm left with 40 on the left. 6n minus 4n is 2n. I divide by 2, and n equals 20. Please stop playing with the pen lid, because it's not your pen, that's mine. So don't chew on the pens that I give you, because I want those back. Okay. C. First step. Pay attention, guys. First step. Hayden, group your like terms. So, on the left-hand side, what are my like terms? Yeah, the positive 3y and the positive 2y. Grouping those together is going to give us what, Juno? Ooh, careful. When you're adding them, the exponents don't change. So you fixed it. Love it. 5y plus 7 equals 2y minus 8. That needs to be your first step. And now it's identical to what we've done before. Does it make more sense to take away 2y or take away 5y? Sorry, Juno? We're going to take away the 2y. It's going to keep this one positive. So I'm going to move it over by taking away 2y on both sides. And I'm going to get 3y plus 7 equals, and now this is where some of you are spontaneously dropping minus signs. This 8 still needs to be negative, because it was negative, so it needs to continue to be negative. So now I've got 3y plus 7 equals negative 8. I'm going to move, move the 7 over. How? I'm going to take away 7 on both sides, leaving me with 3y on the left. Some of you are dropping negative signs here. Negative 8 minus 7 is negative 15, not positive 15. Now we're going to divide by 3, y equals negative 5. Love it. Last one, Jackson. This is the last time I'm going to give you a writing utensil. You're done. I'm cutting you off. Stop disassembling my pens. Okay, cutting both of you off. No, his pens are okay? Liam's are fine. Okay, same thing. First step is grouping our like terms. I've got a 4n and a positive n. It's going to give me a 5n. I've got a negative 2 and a negative 4. That's going to give me minus 6. Left side grouped. That's going to equal. I'm going to group my like terms on the right-hand side. Negative 8 has no one to group with. Negative 3n plus 6n is going to give me plus 3n. And so now it should be obvious which way we're going to move these things. Which way am I going to move my n's? To the left or to the right? Yeah, we're going to move them to the left by subtracting 3n. Because this is plus 3n, opposite is going to be minus 3n. 5n minus 3n is 2n. Minus 6 equals negative 8. We're going to add 6 to both sides. We're going to get 2n equals negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. N equals negative 1. And we're done. So, what I want you to spend the rest of class working on, we are going to skip this page. We've been verifying our answers since day 1. So, I'm going to give you the rest of class time to work on the stuff I want you to work on. Flip to page 8, where it says lesson 2 homework. I want you to do evens and number 11. The evens go all the way up to, like, it goes up to question 20. So I want you to do evens and number 11, including this page, which has you verifying all the way down to the answers, which are right here. You're doing evens up to the bottom here, and number 11. And I want you to do this cryptic quiz. This page is also homework. Cryptic quiz. You're going to figure out why what does Beethoven do now? Why is he spending all his time erasing music? What is it called when a seabird lands on a channel marker? And how does it feel? How does a tree feel after a hard day at work? Okay, that is your task. The first, well, the evens on the 20 questions plus number 11 and this page. Okay. On your mark, get set, give her.